Okay, this is about could and was able. I can say now I can speak English very well. A few years ago I could speak only a few words of English. I can also say, meaning the same thing, I was able to communicate in very simple English. And what's happening here is that we're talking about something that continued over a period of time in the past. And in that situation you can use either could, or you could use was or were able to. I could only speak a few words of English, or I was able to speak only a few words of English, mean the same thing. But if you're talking, in the next box here, if you're talking about a single event that happened at a specific time, you use able to, but you don't use could. President Obama was able to prevent a major depression in 2008. He was able to convince Congress to bail out the major banks. I looked on the internet and was able to find the cost of the bailouts for the U.S. taxpayers. In these sentences, you would not use could. Up in this box, where the action was continued over a period of time, I can use either could or was able. Here, where it's only one action that happened at a specific time in the past, I can only use was able to, and I can't use could. Okay, in the negative, couldn't and wasn't able to are the same meaning. It doesn't matter which one you use, even though it might have been a single event in the past. I couldn't vote in the last election because I wasn't a citizen, or I wasn't able to vote in the last election because I wasn't a citizen. The newspapers weren't able to predict the outcome of the last election, or the newspapers couldn't predict the outcome of the last election. Okay, could have is talking about something that was possible in the past that did not happen. That's the difference between could have and could or was able. When you're talking about could or was able to, you're talking about something that did happen in the past. And when you talk about could have happened in the past, it's something that did not happen, even though it was possible. The government could have bailed out more financial institutions, but decided not to do so. The fiscal crisis of 2008 could have destroyed the U.S. economy, but in fact it didn't do that. Some people thought that the banks couldn't have gotten into so much trouble by following the law. In fact, they got into a whole lot of trouble, and people suspect that they were not following the law. Some of the major banks couldn't have survived without the government bailouts. That means that some of the major banks survived because they had government bailouts.